Okay, this is what you should have gotten if you did it correctly. There was a little bit of trickery on this one. If you'll notice, there's no x squared. It goes straight from x cubed to x and then to no x. Whenever it's missing one of the descending exponent degrees, what you want to do is write a 0 in its place. So I'll have 3x cubed plus 0x squared minus 2x plus 5. So that's what you want to do when something's missing. I wanted to see how many of you remembered that from last year, or if anybody remembered it at all. Okay, so first I want to ask myself, what do I multiply 3x cubed by? Or excuse me, what do I multiply x by to get a 3x cubed? Or you could think of 3x cubed divided by x. So that's going to be 3x squared. 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. 3x squared times 3 is negative 9x squared. Okay, now I want to switch my signs. This becomes negative and this becomes positive. And I'll have 9x squared, and I'll bring down my negative 2x. So now I need to figure out what I need to write right here. Okay, I'm going to write a plus 9x, because 9x squared divided by x is 9x, and 9x is what you need to multiply x by to get 9x squared, because you want them to start out matching, so when you switch out their signs, they disappear. So 9x times x, 9x squared, 9x times negative 3, negative 27x. So then I'm going to switch my signs. So this becomes negative, and this becomes positive. These cancel. Now 25x, and I'll bring down my plus 5. Okay, to get my x to match my 25x, or 25x divided by x, now 25 right here. 25 times x is 25x. 25 times negative 3 is negative 75. Okay, we're going to switch the signs. And I'll get 80, which is my remainder. And that's how you write it. Remember to write a plus sign right there and divide it by the divisor. Okay? So let's take some more time for y'all to work on the next problem. Okay? So if you notice what's missing here, I do not have an x squared again. So I'm going to write x cubed plus 0x squared minus 13x minus 12. And x minus 4 goes out here. I'm going to write an x squared here. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 4 is negative 4x squared. Switch my signs, negative, positive. I'm going to get these to cancel, and this will become 4x squared. And then you need to drag down your negative 13x. So what we're going to write here is plus 4x. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times negative 4 is negative 16x. Switch your signs. Negative, positive. These will cancel. And I'll get 3x, and then I'll drag down my negative 12. I'm going to put a 3 plus 3 right here, because 3 times x gives me my 3x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Switch my signs. And if you notice here, both of them cancel. So that means there is no remainder. And your answer is simply x squared plus 4x plus 3. Now, I know that this is one of my roots, x minus 4. And I divided that x minus 4 out, and I got this. What can I do now to keep that going and figure out the other two roots? Doesn't this look factorable to you? It should if it doesn't. If we were to factor that, that would factor into x plus 3 and x plus 1, and I could solve for my remaining roots. But that's tomorrow, so I'm just going to not get into it anymore. Okay, let's talk about synthetic division, which is even easier. So everybody loves synthetic division, as much as you can love math, of course, but you know. Oops. All right, so let's take a look at that synthetic division. What does synthetic mean? Synthetic means fake, right? Synthetic means, you know, that it's not real and not natural or whatever. So synthetic division is a process that we can use to take care of long division that's a lot easier. Okay? So first you need to make sure that your, I don't know what I wrote there. All right, make sure it's in standard form. Oh, make sure it's in problem. Oh, okay, I got it. This is on its own. Okay, so you want to make sure the problem is in standard form. And you're going to draw an upside down division box. You need to solve the divisor and write this to the left of the upside down division box. Write the coefficients of the dividend in the division box, leaving a row available to write. Write down your first number, multiply it by the divisor, and place it in the next spot. Add, repeat. It's brilliant. I'm going to zoom in on this so you can see the multiplication that I put in there. Now, I made this one really detailed to try to help you out. Okay, so I've got x cubed minus 13x minus 12 divided by x minus 4. Now, I'm going to write in 1, 0, negative 13, and negative 12 because there's no x squared. That's why there's a 0 there. To get this 4 right here, that came from x minus 4 equals 0. Adding 4 to both sides gives me x equals 4. So that's where that 4 comes from. There's 4. Okay, so first you drag down your 1 and write it here. Then you do 1 times 4, which is right here. 0 plus 4 is positive 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Negative 13 plus 16 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 12 plus 12 is 0. These numbers are your coefficients of your divided polynomial. Okay, so it's a rhythm. Drag it down. This number multiplies with this number and is written here. Add, get your number down here, multiply, and write right here. Add, get this number, multiply, and write it right here. And then add for your final. Okay, so this is your remainder. Okay, let's look at this next part right here. The furthest number to the right is your remainder, which for this problem is 0. Your constant is your next number, and then your x and your x squared, and had you had more numbers, then it would have gone up to x cubed, x to the 4th, and so on. So, 1 corresponded to x squared, so I've got x squared right there. 4 corresponds to x, and I got 4x right here. 3 is my constant right here, and then 0 means I have no remainder. So This is kind of what we talked about earlier a few minutes ago about could this be factored further, and that we'll talk about it more tomorrow. I put when I get back, but I meant tomorrow. Okay, so let's do some more synthetic division. This one I have written in without the little multiplication above it. This is kind of what yours, or this is what yours should look like whenever you do it on your own. So you're going to start out with your coefficients. 1, -3, 4, and 6. And of course we check to make sure they're in order of descending exponents. X plus 2 equals 0 would solve to x equals -2. So -2 got written right here. Drag down my 1. Got 1 right here. 1 times -2 is -2. -3 plus -2 is -5. -5 times -2 is +10. 4 plus 10 is 14. 14 times -2 is -28. And 6 minus 28 is -22. This last number is my remainder. This is my constant. This is my x. And this is my x squared. This is where that comes from. And remember the correct way to write it with your plus and your remainder over your divisor. Okay? So now let's pause and let y'all work this one on your own. Okay, let's work through this one. I'm going to write 1, and I'm going to write a 0 for my x cubed being missing, -3, and then another 0 for my x being missing, and then 6. I'm going to have a -2 out here, because x plus 2 solved would be x minus 2, or x equals -2. Drag down your 1. 1 goes here. 1 times -2, -2. 0 plus -2 is -2. -2 times -2 is +4. -3 plus 4 is 1. 1 times -2 is -2. 0 plus -2 is -2. -2 times -2 is +4. 6 plus 4 is 10. This is my remainder. This is my constant, my x, x squared, and x cubed. So my answer will be x cubed minus 2x squared plus x minus 2, remainder 10 divided by x plus 2, or excuse me, plus. Okay, and let's pause again for y'all to work on the final problem for today. Okay, so we're going to write 2, -3, 0, 0 for x squared and x, and 6. X minus 3 solved would be +3. Then I start my division. Drag down the 2 and I got 2. 2 times 3 is 6. -3 plus 6 is +3. 3 times 3 is 9. 0 plus 9 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 0 plus 27 is 27. Oh wait, I screwed up somewhere. 6. 27 times 3 is 81. And 6 plus 81 is 87. Okay, so rewrite my equation now. So it will be plus 87 over x minus 3. And then 27 plus 9x plus 3x squared plus 2x cubed. How could you check to make sure that this is right? What you would do is you would multiply this times this and then add in this 87 divided, or this 87 remainder at the end, and it will equal this. So theoretically, this is one of those things that you could check it before you even turn into me and tell me Miss Randall tried or Miss Randall's wrong. Okay, so you would multiply this times that and add in your remainder, and that would give you your original problem. Okay, that's it for today. Hope y'all are being good. I miss you bunches, and work hard.